Need a little help teaching your kid how to read? Stick around because I'm doing video number 5 in my Orton Gillingham in a Nutshell series. Hi, I'm Rebecca and welcome to the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. Before we get started, make sure you click like and subscribe along the way. Leave a comment, leave a question. I'd love to see notifications on my computer so that I can respond to you as soon as possible. Today is video number 5 in my Orton Gillingham series. If you need to know more about Orton Gillingham, make sure you check out my top video, What is Orton Gillingham? It's only about 12 minutes long. This is a very popular sound in the English language, so let's talk about the SCHWA today. So you might see SCHWA in an Orton Gillingham series or book. This is how it would be spelled, and it's usually marked with that upside down E. Maybe if you got a lot of dictionary practice when you were growing up and you were reading how to pronounce a word, it might have included one of those marks. It's similar to the sound that the short U would make. It's not considered exactly the same. It is a lazy sound. I actually have a schwa sound in my name. So if you have someone in your family with the schwa sound in their name, this is a good way to introduce it to your kids. Now, at the very beginning stages, they don't have to know everything about the schwa sound, but what they might want to know is that sometimes a vowel might not make the short or long sound, okay? Sometimes that's true. So let's look at my name. Now, a lot of people might say my name, Rebecca, okay? I always like it when people pronounce it Rebecca. So the way I like to pronounce my name is with 2 schwas, one here and one here. But traditionally, if you have a lot of names that end in an A, that's going to be a schwa sound. Even though it's ending in an A and that's an open syllable, it can make the schwa sound, Rebecca, Rebecca. Okay, my son's name has a schwa sound also. So we notice the 2 vowels, right? And that S is closing in the E. So we have Wes, and then ton. We don't say Weston, Weston. Although, if you have a reader and they're reading a book and they're sounding out a word similar to Weston, and they say Weston, but they are thinking about what they read, they're thinking of the context, their brain can usually change it and fix it, especially if you help them start listening to themselves. So that's a little bit about schwas in names. The schwa sound is very common in English, and it's considered to be a lazy sound. The schwa will often appear in unstressed syllables. So remember my name, Rebecca. So my stressed syllable was Beck. So Rebecca, that at the end obviously is not stressed, but you can also find it in a multi-syllable word like this one. Now, we have the G closing in the I, so that one's closed. The I is open here. So normally we would say it's a long vowel and we'd say dignity. No, it's an open syllable exception. So a lot of Orton Gillingham programs will code it as an open syllable as it is and then say, no, that's an exception. So the dignity, so they would code it like this to show that it's a schwa sound. Yes. And then, of course, dignity, the Y here is acting as a vowel, so it is an open syllable, and it's just making the sound of the E. Some programs might actually show that it's a long E. Dignity, dignity, okay? So on dignity, the stressed syllable is dig. It's not dignity, it's dignity, dignity. So this is unstressed. If you are having trouble hearing what is or isn't stressed, try saying words in different ways where you're changing out which syllable is stressed. That can be a hard thing for kids, but sometimes some adults. All right, so let's go over a few other words that may have a schwa sound. Your child does not have to know a bunch of rules for the schwa sound at this time. I only go over this now because if your child is reading a word, they may even come across one of those sight words that may have a schwa sound in it, okay? Here's one I see sometimes on sight word lists. So a kid may kind of memorize this because it's been on a list, but they may memorize this without even realizing yet this vowel team. Now, we've not covered vowel teams yet. We will. Vowel teams are something that a lot of kids struggle with in the second grade-ish, third grade-ish range. But on this word, we have 2 syllables. And instead of pronouncing it a round, because the A is open, normally he would be long. What do we say? You guys know it. It's around. So that was a schwa sound. You can have a schwa sound in the word like extra. The X closes in the E, so he's closed and he's short. Extra. It's not extra. So sometimes you can pronounce it the wrong way just to show your kids, look, normally the rule would be this, extra. But they know extra is not a word, and that wouldn't make sense in the sentence. So you say, well, this one is just an exception. If in doubt. If in doubt. Obviously, you know how to read if you're teaching your kid to read. If in doubt, when you come up on a word that has some wonky rule, you just don't understand it. Maybe the word came from, another language originally with different pronunciation rules and all of that. And we all know that we pronounce some words differently based on where we live in our dialect. You can tell your kid, oh, that's a rule breaker. And it's usually just a simple little answer for right now at whatever early stage they are at. So that's a little bit about the schwa sound. You can find lots of materials online that would detail the schwa sound a little bit more and give you some lists and some example words. But just as you read, as you think about names in your family, pay attention to that and see if you can find any that have that schwa sound. What questions do you have? Make sure to leave those in the comment section below and look for my next video. You can click the little notification button so that you can know whenever I upload the very next video. I'm always taking ideas about videos that you would like to know more about, so please leave that in the comment section below. You can check out my courses on theparentteacherbridge.com. I have one about how you can teach your kid the ABCs. I have one about how you can help your beginning reader. I don't know why it does that. And then I have one called Next Step Reading to help your kid get to the next level of reading. So be sure to check those out. Remember, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.